Doom, 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 and it looks like we're here. My voice is coming through. My hat is on. My hair is straight as can be. And my beard is the accent, the icing, the frosting on the cake that makes the world go round. Well, that's not true. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know, we have good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. We have two new moderators. I'm laughing my ass off. I was getting ready to go. I got my stuff squared away. I don't have any Jack Daniels tonight because I'm still fucked up in my medical condition. I haven't been cleared yet. But I'm drinking Hawaiian refrigerator water as close as I can get to Jack Daniels. It's National Straw Day, so you're not allowed to make fun of me for drinking out of a straw. Do you see how the world comes together, how the planets align, how the cosmos comes into focus just for me? Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to get water in a Jack Daniels container. I don't like drinking out of the straw. You know that. It makes me look like a fat kid with suspenders at the zoo. But today's National Straw Day, so you can't say shit. Anyway, welcome. And we have two new staff members, Josh Maddox and Mrs. Big Rig. You guys know both of them under different names. Josh Maddox been Josh Maddox, but Mrs. Big Rig, I said, you can join staff, but you got to pick a fucking name. It was so funny. I'm watching some of the stuff go by. It's their first night. It's going to look like we have a lot of blue wrenches in here. We're just letting everybody kind of ease in. We're going to get to a point where we take turns moderating. It's not just going to be blue wrenches everywhere. And adding a couple people was necessary. We had to do it. There's some stuff we're going through, some changes this year, some big stuff happening. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, my fine feathered friends. But I was watching to see, how they would do it. Because normally when you're a brand new moderator, you kind of sit back, you kind of watch, you let all the other moderators kind of do their thing, and you see, because you can read deleted comments, you can see what they're. Well, so if someone deletes something, you can quickly go look and say, okay, what kind of comment do we delete? Which ones do we let go through? You kind of get some. And there's some brazen ones, within the other. So I saw Josh, he deleted one, and I thought, I'll go check out. And it said, some fucktard said, show me Gen X mom's titties, thanking you in advance. And he deleted that. Well, that's a good one to delete. We won't say the dude's name. But on Mrs. Big Rig, she comes by and she deletes, probably her very first deletion. And it was somebody, and I wrote down their name. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know if I still have it on here. I screenshotted it real quick because it's someone who's in here quite often. It's someone who's around. Oh, there it is. Sub Lyrical Productions, and he wrote this. He wrote, do you ever wonder what a Gen X thinks? Welcome to Gen X Talks. And Dad, what the fuck do you want now? Laugh my ass off. Do you understand that he was just quoting the beginning of a lot of the kids' ambush videos? He just wrote, do you ever wonder what a Gen X thinks? Welcome to Gen X Talks. Now YouTube holds those. They hold some back. They hold them in gray because if it's got any cuss words in it or stuff, YouTube holds a lot of those, and we as moderators can choose to let them through or we can delete them. So this guy just wrote, do you ever wonder what a Gen X thinks? Welcome to Gen X Talks. Boy, Miss Big Rig was like, fuck it, delete that shit. Don't you dare quote the kid. We don't quote around here. I have no idea what she was thinking, but I have no way to bring it back. I can't bring the comment back. The choices, I could see it, and then that was it. I could make the dude a moderator. That was one of my choices on there. But Sublyrical Productions, I would not try to offend you, my fine feathered friend. That was a very funny opening comment in the welcome screen when we're all getting ready during the intro. And Miss Big Rig, Jesus fucking, I don't know what she's mad, which leads me to believe that if she doesn't like that opening statement of those ambush videos, perhaps she would delete and cancel all of those ambush videos. Perhaps that's her agenda. Maybe she snuck on staff here just so she could, maybe that gives her anxiety. I don't know what it was, but she fucking hammered Sublyrical Productions right off the bat. I think that was her first deletion. She's like, fuck it, you're gone. Just... that was funny. You got to admit, she comes in here swinging that wrench. She's just like, well, fuck you guys. Well, I'm here. I don't know. So I'm going to have to give a -100 to Mrs. Big Rig for the first time she was swinging her big blue wrench. I'm going to have to give +100 to Josh Maddox. Well done there, my fine feathered friend. Gerald Martin, what about fuck General? I wrote show it. See? I put that down on there. That was so we did. Yeah, we got two new staff members, and it wasn't for a lack of looking. I'll tell you, you had 300 people apply. I just got an email, which I'll add to the mix of that just 1 second ago. I just saw it come through as the timer was counting down. The kid handled with 300 emails. He narrowed it down to 12. I think we did 12 interviews. Maybe it might have done 12 interviews, and. Where do we go from there? Narrow it down to 6. Anyway, as you either receive an email, as the kid received, Gen Z kid did all the work on this one, but as he had to tell people no thank you, he had to devise an email, be clever, be nice, and let them know exactly where we're at with stuff, and so he was in an argument with somebody. He was doing very well. The emails that he was sending out, they're rejection emails, but he was very polite about it and saying, no, thank you. We went another direction, or didn't work, didn't fit, blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to narrow it down, and there were still a couple people that had not replied. And he was emailing them saying, listen, you're running out of time here. We kind of got to get these interviews done, because he was doing Zoom interviews with each person. I did some of them with him. And so he was in an argument with somebody. I don't know who he was mad at. He was arguing. I think he was arguing with Lionheart or something. He was in some tense conversation. And right after he was all worked up, and right after he was done, he sent out a rejection email. Now, it's in the company email. It's in one of the mailboxes that I can see. So I just happened to glance over after he sent it out, and I read it real quick. And his reply, now follow me on this. This nice woman, this lady, had said, I'd like to join. I could do this. Well, we need you to do an interview. And she didn't reply. He says, hello, we need you to do an interview. When's a good time for you? And then she finally writes back and says, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I was late seeing this. I was in the hospital, or I was busy. I was on the moon with Steve. Some story, something, that was in there. I don't remember what that part was. But he was so angry after his discussion. His rejection email to her was basically, we fucking already picked somebody. Next time I tell you to email, get off your ass and fucking email. You're too late. It's over. Don't email me anymore. No, it wasn't that bad. I completely exaggerated that. But it was very curt. I'm sorry, you didn't reply back in time. You're no longer being considered. And I looked at that. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. He goes, I go, you were being very professional, but you also sound like a dick. You can't do that. You can't just sound like a dick in a rejection. You got to have some style, man. Have some class when you're talking. Talk a story a little bit. Don't just tell him no. That's you don't do that. Now I'm going to tell you who got that email. I actually think there was 2, but the one I know we got. You know who it is. It's a person, a very familiar name. And I was very upset at Gen Z Kid for emailing in the context and in the manner to which he emailed this rejection letter. And it was Elizabeth Rojas. Do you hear everybody gasping right now? Do you hear everybody taking in that breath? Like, you did what to Elizabeth? Why would you do it to Elizabeth? You did what? Yes, it was Elizabeth Rojas. Yeah, not a good sign. Not a good sign. So that was a thing there. Well, I try to straighten him out. I love Elizabeth. So does he. He was on a bad day, and even though the timing didn't work out to do that, it was just like, fuck. You don't tell Elizabeth you fucking blew it. You're too late. Quit emailing. He didn't do that, but that's the way it felt to me. I was really upset. But anyway, so yeah, that was the Elizabeth Rojas email. I think I've got a picture. I think I got a picture of the new moderator thing in there, letting everybody see. Yeah, that's Josh Maddox, and that's going to be his new symbol or something close to it. He changes about every 11 minutes. I don't know what it's going to be. So if you guys see the blue guitar with the headphones, that's going to be Josh. the lady at the bottom, that's going to be Mrs. Big Rig. Now, I like hers because of the gaming thing over where the goggles are. Not sure if she came up with that or if that's a prefab gig, but I dig that a ton. I think that's going to work out rather well. And we'll get into more on why they were chosen. And it's not super complicated. I don't want you to make you think that the process around here is full of algorithms and the choice process. We weren't drawing straws around here. It was really simple. We ended up with Mrs. Big Rig because she showed me her boobs, and Josh Maddox because he paid me $5,000. That was the way. That was the way in. People after my own heart. So they're in, and you're not. Actually, we picked. It was a good thing to settle because everybody can be a moderator. Pretty much everybody who applied were people we knew, people like you guys that could be a good. You just have to learn, like Mrs. Big Rig has not. We have to learn how to be a moderator, what we do, what we don't do, and you get in the flow. You could pretty much teach anybody that. So really what we were looking for was what came afterwards. What other assets do you bring to the table that we can exploit and use for free and make the brand go further? Well, Mrs. Big Rig already joins in the Kid and Trippy Pineapple on the Trippy and the Kid live streams where they do gaming. She's already playing a bunch with them. So that was a good fit. Plus we have some ideas on how to make that part of the gaming thing for the Kid go further. So that worked out well. And Josh Maddox, first of all, he's an all-around good egg. Everybody knows Josh. Everybody likes Josh. And at the same time, he does have some experience with editing. So we can use him for doing some of the editing. That takes a long time and it's very tedious work to do it right and make it look good. He's got some experience with Adobe and that. So you see what I'm saying is that there's other things that came into consideration other than just can you moderate? Yeah, of course you can moderate. So we'll bring them along slowly with that. I got my ass handed to me by Gen X Mom. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I think she came across a little strong. And then she reiterated it lunch day. And I'll tell you what happened was we had a staff meeting and Low Torque was there. Well, I got Low Torque on my brain. Everybody was there and we brought Mrs. Big Rig and Josh Maddox into the first staff meeting and they were smiles. They were all smiles and happy to be there. And at the end of it, I made a casual statement at the end of the staff meeting. I just said, hey, you guys, we'll get you set up with some emails. We'll get you, a Josh Maddox or a Josh at Gen X Talks email, Mrs. Big Rig at Gen X Talks. We'll get you set up with a couple email addresses. I'll do that by the end of the week. We'll get you squared away. That was it. That's kind of, I just threw it out there. And man, if Gen X Mom didn't come bolting out of that fucking office ready to rip my nuts off. I was like, why are you mad? And she goes, Two Bear doesn't have a Gen X Talks email. Low Torque doesn't have a Gen X Talks email. And you just promised the two newbies emails, and they don't even have, they've been around a lot longer than those two. They're actually doing some shit around here. I'm like, all right, I'll get him a couple emails. Fuck, I didn't know. I'm sorry about that. Jesus H. Tap Dancing Christ. She crawled up my ass and planted a flag over emails. I'll tell you, the things you women, the hills you're willing to die on in these arguments is absolutely amazing. It really is. And she did it at lunch today. What I mean to tell you by lunch is we had lunch today out at the Crest. It's becoming a place that we go to here in town. We like it. It's quiet. It's got good food. And Loud One was in town. He was actually breezing through town, and I believe he went out of his way to come see us. But he says he's just passing through town. I don't believe that. I think Loud One came out of his way. And so Low Torque, who I just asked, I called him up and said, hey, man, because he's in town here with us. I said, you want to grab some lunch over at the Crest? He's like, yeah, I'm in. And then I grabbed Gen X Mom because she was having a bad day. We rode over there. Now, a couple things to talk about. Number one is I can't eat. As most of you know, I'm still scared to fucking death to put anything in my stomach that's going to cause me to explode and die. And we don't want that. No explosions. Explosions are bad. And so I have been on water and basically dry bread, tortillas, and white rice for 8 or 9 days now. So when I went there today, I'm like, fuck it. I'm not just going to sit here and not eat. So I did have some French fries. That's it. And water. Still nothing but water for the past 9 days. And sat there and we had a good conversation. We talked to everybody. Low Torque got there a little bit earlier, so we were hanging out. And Then Loud One got there, and then we had good conversations. And I got to tell you, every single time that I'm around Low Torque, as I'm sitting across the table and just listening to him talk, all I hear is Rick Moranis' voice. Yeah, from Ghostbusters, from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, from Strange Brew. It's Rick Moranis. And the more he talks, the worse it gets. He was talking, and you can't blame me. You cannot fault me for this. First of all, if you guys heard that video game clip, a year ago, I played it for you. He sounds like Rick Moranis. And then today he was talking about, what was his story? Because he just bought a Tesla. And he's all about the facts, the figures, and he's really into the product. I mean, he knows that when he buys a gun, he knows all the details and everything you can know. Low Torque's one of those guys who reads everything in Braille backwards with his eyes closed to make sure he can catch every detail that your eyes might sometimes miss. Yeah, that's Low Torque. He invented that shit. It's really good. He also chews gum with his ass. I find that weird, but it's a good diet, isn't it? Yeah. So he's in there and he's talking about this, and he brings up a picture and he goes, "This is amazing. You guys got to see this. Really fucking amazing." And some people in a Tesla had gone over a cliff somewhere, and they lived. All four of them. They fall really far. Like every time you fall down there, you're gone. It's a known. If you fall down that far and to smash into the rock, the whole thing was smashed, and they lived. And he's like, we were joking about the only reason they went over the edge of the cliff is because Tesla's autopilot feature was on. I thought that was funny. Loud One thought it was funny. Low Torque and Gen X Mom didn't think it was so funny, but it was. And then he's, no, you don't understand. But they survived. The substructure of the frame. Now follow me on his thing on this. This is him talking. The reason they survived is because the substructure of the frame was the battery pack is in such a design where if you go over the cliff like that and you got a Tesla, because the substructure of the frame turns into the coefficient of the drag and the impact, it's different than Teslas weigh about 8,400 pounds, but then you're going to Ford EV on the truck on that weighs 9,200 pounds. So I think if you compensate for the altitude, the angle, and what you come up with. He goes on and on. His voice becomes that Rick Moranis voice while you're listening to him. You think I'm kidding? There was other people in the restaurant that stopped eating and were staring and looking at him. He didn't look a whole lot, not a whole lot like Rick Moranis. Got the big dark glasses, or the black rim Drew Carey, 1952 government issue glasses. Yes. But the statistics, the charts, the graphs, the things that he's saying, and he rambles it all together, by the time he's done, he sounds like Rick Moranis. I mean, I looked at the other table, I'm like, Rick, you guys got that, right, Rick? And they're like, yeah, we got you. That's why they stopped. They weren't trying to be rude. It was entertaining. And again, I'm not trying to displace the people that lived through the Tesla thing. I'm not saying that. I was making fun of the auto drive feature. Yeah, I was. And he doesn't even do it on purpose. And I think because we make fun of that more here, I think he goes down that road. It was, what was the other conversation we were talking about? We were talking about Yellowstone, the TV show Yellowstone, and how there's 1923 is the new series, 1883 is the other series, and we're trying to figure out, whose grandfather is who, and how does Kevin Costner's character relate to all this? And it's not really an argument between Loud One and Low Torque and I, but we're having a guy conversation. We're trying to fit all these pieces together, and he's trying to explain stuff. And Loud One's got the Loud One's sure he's got the shit figured out, and he's just trying to tell us this is how it fucking is. Shut up. This is the way it goes. And I'm like, no, that guy can't be related to that guy. The age thing doesn't fit, and so Low Torque starts telling the story. He goes, well, okay, so who's the character who was the singer, the country singer, and he came out here, and his name, and and he came out here, and he was going like this, and then he got all the way to Montana. By the time he got to Montana, he wasn't doing so well, and his wife was not doing well, and then the guy died, and his wife kept going, so his wife emailed back east, and then told them to come out here, and then, that's the reason that they came out here is because she called back east and they had their family come out. The brother came out with his wife, and by the time he got there, she died. So they raised us. And I'm hearing the whole story of Yellowstone narrated by Rick Moranis, throwing in there that this is in 1883 and 1923. And no less than twice did Low Torque tell me that the character emailed New York. and he just made a phone call back east and told him, get your butt out here because we need some help in 1923 or 1883. Now, he corrected himself on the phone call. That was funny. He goes, wait a minute, there's no phones back then. Sorry about that. What it meant was he sent a letter back there, but it was funny because the whole thing, it fit. That's the kind of corrections and conversations that Rick Moranis would have. So we went down that road too, and that was fine. It was a good thing. We figured it all out. We solved the mysteries of the universe. We got it all squared away. And by the time we were done, we all knew, because you know what happened was, while we were all arguing about this, Gen X mom was looking up the physical picture of the flow chart of which father had which son and who was aunts and uncles and really. And then as we're saying all this shit, she just hands it to us. And I grabbed like, oh, all right, yeah. And we passed that around and everybody kind of caught on. And then we were done talking. She killed the conversation is what she really did. We were trying to solve this thing like men do. And then, she comes in with all these weird facts and, stuff written down. And it turns out, though, that I believe Loud One was more correct than Low Torque and I. I believe that to be the case. But anyway, that's how that went. So it was good. It was a good lunch, and everybody had their stuff, and we all got out of there, and I had about an hour to go before showtime. So it really wasn't a lunch. It was an early dinner. And that's only because Loud was like, I'll be there at 12. Okay, I'll be there at 1. All right, wait, 1:30. Okay, 2 at the late. All right, never mind, 2:30. There's an accident. Now I'll be there at 3. So I just told Lord Torque, just show up and we'll hang out as long as we can. And we did, and it was good, and that's how all that stuff happened there. So I'm not even sure what I had a message in there somewhere. There was a message. Oh, so yeah. We talked about that. And somewhere in there, we were welcoming Mrs. Big Rig and Josh Maddox to the staff. So congratulations. I have no idea how those two things go together. Make the bridge yourself, a leap of faith, and everything will make sense. All right. It was National Straw Day. There's actually a bunch of national days today. When you look up what's the national day today, sometimes they give you one choice. Sometimes they give you like 6 or 7. It came down to, do we want to be part of National Drinking Straw Day, or did we want to be part of National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day? Now, if we play it legit, if we play it straight up, I don't give a shit about chocolate covered cherries at all. Not even a little bit. If we go a little bit off the rails, if we slide 3 or 4 shots in and we type that into, let's say, Pornhub or something, now I'm a little more interested in what kind of a national day it is. I thought it in the best interest, being this is a family show, to leave it with the Straw Day. So that's why we ended up there. All right. Before I go too much further, let me go over Dancing Between the Sheets is Gen X Mom. She's got some stuff in here. Chris Roseborough. I haven't seen him in a while. He's been in and out of here, but he hasn't been back in a while. Tomorrow is his birthday, January 4th. Mrs. Big Rig, mem for 2 months. Yeah, I realized that after I did. There's the apology. Mrs. Big Rig, I realized after I fight, click. You do realize that you're now on suspension, Mrs. Big Rig. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that after the program. Sub-Lyrical Productions, no offense taken. That was nice of you. Thanks, man. I appreciate you saying so. Because that could have gone the other way. He could have been all, what the fuck did I do? You know how sensitive people are in comment sections these days. Any little thing will set them off. Now, you got to try pretty hard to be offended by some of my generation. So we'll take Sub-Lyrical as a man of his word. Alexis Space, first time here. Alexis Space, if this is your first time, just relax, my fine feathered friend. Treat it like a first date. I'll do all the work, I promise. Daniel Patton. This intro is uppity as fuck. Got me dancing in my chair and shit. Well, good. I'm glad. That's the music is something I found. I didn't make that music, but that music with that stuff, I hacked together some brand new stuff that I made for the intro. Some stuff that Allie, you guys remember Allie from Boston? Some of those scenes in there were hers. And then the music is just something we've been using. I found it on Adobe. It was free, so I copied and pasted it, and they haven't got mad that I've been using it. So I think I'm all right. Justin Meyer, how was I just talking about one of you guys' short vids, and boom, the notification live, I steal some of your gems and make my family laugh. Listen, Justin, let me be straight with you. Everything you see on anything we do here at Janice Talks is stolen. It's plagiarized from somewhere. It either, if it's wisdom, it came from my grandfather probably. If it's bullshit, it came from TV and movies in the 70s and 80s or song lyrics. So I promise you, everything that I'm passing along to you, you're free to take and continue stealing it because I stole it from somebody else. I haven't had an original thought since 1973, and I'm going to continue to keep it that way for as long as I possibly can. Will Wheeler, any advice on re-gearing rear axles? Dude, I'm 20 hours in on this. Well, Will, I'd need a little bit more than that. I mean, you're just talking about old school stuff, changing 411s and 383s, or you counting teeth and you got to know where you're at. And four-wheel drive makes a difference there too. And if I have to explain that to you, why your front diff and rear diff should be the same ratio, then we got a problem. Tim H, hello everyone. Gen X Talks. It's been a while for a live for me, and things have been chaotic the past 4 months. Tim, grab an adult beverage. Put your feet up, man. Put your headphones on, turn the volume up. All your problems and your chaos will still be there when the live stream's over. I promise you. Magsy, member for 1 month. Beard is looking fine. I was worried. That's Magsy. I was worried. You know who I'm worried about? I'm worried. I'm hiding behind the microphone. I'm worried about Mrs. Forwatten. I'm worried that she's going to say, you didn't brush it. There's a few gaps in there. And the straight on view has got me worried. I'm worried about Miss Four, so I'm dodging, I'm bobbing, and I'm weaving, I'm shucking and jiving, just making sure that Mrs. Forwatten's got something. Every time I think she's looking at the screen, I'm like, oh my God, look at that! But I think I'm okay with this view. I mean, let's be real about this. I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful, yeah. But I think this way gives me a certain debonair approach to my profile. So when I'm reading between the sheets, the Google Sheets, the Google Docs, whatever these fucking things are over here on this other monitor, when I'm reading what you guys have written, copy and pasted by Gen X Mom, I feel a little more confident. This, not so confident. This, I have confidence because again, I'm looking off to the side. But if I'm looking this way, it also means that Gen X Mom is approaching and I've done something wrong and I've fucked up. All my confidence goes away and I shrivel up like a crying little baby. So, crying little baby view, no confidence, debonair confidence. Those are the 3 angles of the beard, all right? Remember that. Write that down. There's going to be a test. Crying baby, none, debonair. Those are the 3 levels of confidence of the beard as we speak. Mrs. Forwatten, member for 6 months. Don't worry. Be burly. Well, when you've got permission to be burly, the gaps and the curls don't matter anymore, now do they? Barry Dano, I would have applied, but I figured being a mod of 1 YouTube channel, 1 Facebook group, admin of 2 groups wasn't up. Yeah, this can be a time-consuming project. It really can. I think we're good right now with the team we've got in place and the things we're planning during the next year. Gen X Talks is either going to fail miserably and burn out on the side of the road, and I'm going to end up being in someone else's comment section just like you, or we're going to do really well and everyone is going to ascend to stardom, and we're going to have parties where only rich people are invited, where we can steal their gold and their wallets, kick them to the curb, and spread the money amongst all of our friends, which includes you. Moving right along. Clip that part out because I don't want those people to know that's what our plan is. River Wayne, I feel like you actually enjoy doing your son's videos, right or wrong. River Wayne, I can't tell if you're right or wrong. I'm not a man who passes judgment. River, you're going to have to decide those things for yourself. It's all in here, buddy. It's all in here. All right. River Wayne's like, you fucker. Jennifer Vincent, I just so happened to look you up on your live first time here. Jennifer, thank you so much for stopping by. You have no responsibilities here whatsoever. We'll take care of everything. You just enjoy the show. Shell Safarum, new member. Hey, Gen X Mom, hope you're well too. What are the blue things in the tip jar? Those are diamonds. If you tip over $20 or $25, the blue diamonds come in there. They're pretty powerful and they clear the jar. The everyone's favorite, of course, is the peaches. Yeah, the peaches. Anytime you guys want to see, don't those look like asses? Don't those look like asses in here? That jar? They are. They're peaches. They're real peach. It's a GIF image, but they're they're shaped after Mrs. Four Watton, the mold of her backside. Yeah, she went down and had it professionally molded and boxed that mold up, sent it to us, and we sent it to the Netherlands, where RJG meticulously used a computer. It took 6 days of this computer to scan that mold of her ass and then translate that, and then RJG did all the shading, and we come up with this. Mrs. Four Watton's perfectly ass-shaped peaches, and they are a staple in the tip jar, and that's why they're there. Never forget that lesson. Please, never forget that lesson. Not that I don't enjoy telling the story. I'll tell it with a smile every goddamn time. All right, where was I? Loud one. I'll always go out of my way for you, and Gen X Mom Brother, I know you do. I knew you would. You played it off like you were coming through town, but I knew you were going out of your way. Barry Dano, and it all came down to the parachute worked. You fucking lost me on that one. You have to tell me something again on that one, Barry. Will Wheeler, talking cars. Any advice on rearranging gear axles? I know I'm always messing with something. Pops Will Wheeler, you got to email on that one. Oh no, an old school wisdom, tips and tricks, etc. regarding 456s, both axles is kicking my ass. Okay, you gearing low or you gearing high, buddy? You got to tell me which direction we're going, and then I can have an old school opinion. Brad Gray, good day from Australia. Always get somebody. We always get somebody from Australia checking in. That's the cool part about it. There's always somebody awake in Australia, even if there's just one of them. They wake up, turn on the light, lock the door, tell us good day, and go right back to sleep. But there's always somebody awake. Always one person awake in Australia. Don't forget that. Aaron Jump, I'm in Fresno, California, on the road in my semi. I come out here all the time from Missouri. Aaron, you're like 2 hours north of me right now. Greg Christ, what are your thoughts on the vote tomorrow for the House? If Kevin McCarthy had as much power as he thought he did, and I can talk a little shit about Kevin. I've met him once, and he is from here. He's from my town. I could talk a little shit. If Kevin had the clout and the power that he thought he did, or that he should have had by now, this would have been a done deal. And you got to look, this is how they're all going to spin it. Now, pay attention. This is politics 101. So there's a lot of infighting, indecision, can't get the votes, can't get anything done among the Republicans. They're trying to vote for a Speaker of the House, right? So the way the Republicans will spin this is, well, we're sticking to our morals. We're sticking to our guns. We value the human spirit and the American condition, and we're not just going to throw our votes away willy-nilly. We need to keep pounding this out until we get the best possible candidate. We're sticking to our values. And the Democrats are going to look at it and say the Republicans are disorganized. They're a big fucking, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can't even pick their own They can't pick a leader. That's how fucked up they are. And you want them running the country? They're a big fucking mess. Do you see? There's the nuts and bolts. You want the nuts and bolts. You want the basics of how the media will spin that. There you go. If it's a conservative outlet, it's going to go one way. Liberal outlet's going to go the other. And the truth is, if he had the juice that he thought he had or he should have had by now, he'd have had everybody fall in line. All right? That's it. It's that simple. All right. And I like Kevin McCarthy. I'm not talking down on him. I dig the dude. Denied Mango. Denied Mango 89. The dude's name is Denied Mango. Now, that's a dude who was denied a mango and it stuck with him. I can't even make up a clever story where you didn't get a mango in your life and that fucking stuck with you, that when you had the chance for a screen name, that memory just popped right to the front again and you went, fuck it. Goddamn, didn't give me my goddamn fucking mango. Denied Mango. And it obviously happened in 1989, or maybe that's when he was born. Denied 89. Bro, love the content. Keep it up. Someone might learn from you, sir. I have. If you learned anything from this show, then we have done our job. All right, so let me go back. Oh, for Christ's sake. Who's giving me the hydrate? Is that Trippy? Is that Trippy Pineapple or is that Gen X? One of them is in there. Give me the fucking hydrate, drink the water. Why can't they say, look like a little fat kid drinking out of a straw? All right. Forever's Ocom 1. Hello, first time. Well, Forever's Ocom 1, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. Jay Marsh, what did you do for a living before this gig? Was a mechanic, just a regular car mechanic, nothing special. Just worked on about everything that came through the door. If I didn't know how to work on it, I either turned it away and referred it to someone who did. If there's specialty guys better at it, or I learned how to do it myself. That was it. That was Mint, $5. Hi, Mom. I know you're looking at this. I love you from your son. That was Mint. That was Mint. Hi, Mom. I know you're looking at this. I love you from your son. We don't have a son that associates with the word mint. No, I don't know who that is. Adam Seidelman, $4.99. Just started plowing another 3-day. Wow, just started plowing another 3-day 12-inch snow event in Minneapolis. Thank you for the company, good sir. Helps time pass. Well, that is good. That we are good for one thing. Gen X Talks will help the time pass, or we can put you to sleep. Yeah, you suffering from insomnia. We're the right channel to tune into. Put us on replay. You'll be out in 10 minutes, I promise. Speaking of snow, so Hawkeye got run over by a snowplow. That should be a new song, not Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. We should do Hawkeye Got Run Over by a Snowplow, because Jeremy Renner got run over by a snowplow. I know it's no joking matter, but he's okay now. So I'm just fucking with him. And I know he watches the show. I know he's watching the program right now, and he's laughing. It's hurting right now. His ribs are hurting, but he's laughing. Jeremy, I'm just fucking with you, man. But apparently he plows all the roads around there for all of his neighbors, because he's got a snowplow. He's a good guy, puts forth the effort to be a good neighbor when he can. And then he got out to help somebody, and I don't know whether the brake jumped on him, popped out of gear, can happen, but ran him over. And from the injuries, crushed like right over him. But he lived. The fucking guy lived. Tough as nails, that motherfucker. Good job. So that's a dude. If he would have died from this accident, this is an actor. Never met him before. I don't know him, but this is a guy that it would have bothered me. I know we all have people like that. We got singers and actors and actresses. We got things like that. This one would have bothered me. I'm so glad he's still with us and things are turning around. All right. Shane Cunningham, first time checking in, and it won't be the last. Always keep it real from Cape Coral, Florida. My man, Shane. Hope to see you around more, buddy. Just write some Ricklam Nop. Why the fuck can't you guys have names like Bob or Joe? What it was Rick LMNOPPP RIC LMNOPP I just found your videos the other day. Big fan, thanks. I am not a fan of your name, dude. You got to change that for me. You come back as Joe Smith. We can be friends. Kiddly Bird, Bipolar Bear. Bipolar Bear. What's the number one big thing you think is going to happen in 2023? Jesus. The number one biggest thing in 2023, I think Gen X Mom and I are determined to throw one of the biggest fucking most badass barbecue swim parties in our backyard this next summer that this neighborhood has ever seen. There. I don't know if that's a national goal, but it's my goal. Yeah, it's going to be invitation only. We're going to get some of you guys out here, some of you longtime listeners, and it's going to be fun. All right. Where am I at? I had something to say in here. Lee Grewell, member for 2 months. Rest in peace, Ken Block, one of the great Gen X greats from Action Sports. Yeah. Ken, and I didn't, he's been all over. You guys have seen a bunch of stuff on him on, He did a lot of driving, too. I mean, it was driving, too, of course, duh. But, yeah, he's gone, and she just erased the thing on me. I was going to say more, but I can move on. John Noonley, hey, General, how do you deal with your annoying kid? I know you love them, but dang, sometimes he's got to be the most annoying person on the planet to you. John Noonley, sometimes he's as annoying as 5 kids. Sometimes he just goes from his mother to I, to his mother, back to me, back to his mother, back to me. And to be honest, I get mad, but to be fair, Gen X Mom can lose her shit. She will literally look at that son of ours, Gen Z kid, the one and all of a sudden she gets angry and she turns into Scarface and she gets her Al Pacino voice on and she'll look at him coming and go, if you walk in to this room one more time, I will lose my mind. And she just fucking goes at him. It's her. Do you want to know of all the kids that have been kicked out of this house? She's kicked them all out. I don't know that I've kicked any, maybe one. Of all the kids we've raised, one. But the big names, the big kahunas around here, the big names that became out, she kicked them out. She's like, I'm fucking done with you. Get out. It wasn't even me. You guys would have put money on me being the one who kicked them out. You guys would have lost money. No. I go a lot longer with those arguments and discussions than she does. She gets to a point and you're fucking out. All right. Christopher Evans, I drive truck and love listening to your lives, always better than radio. Well, Christopher Evans, I appreciate that. And speaking of radio, KGXT Radio should be up and running March 1st. If everything goes to plan, that will be songs that I picked that we've paid for. We're working out the agreement with BMI and ASCAP where we can play songs. Just let it go. No commercials. Doesn't cost you guys anything. It's going to be free. At least that's the intent. I don't, unless something changes. It should be just tune in and listen. And in between, little segments of the podcast where you can listen to the podcast, little segments of certain live streams that are relevant, like this, little replays here and there, but basically just all music. So you're on the right track, and I'm with you, my man. I hope it works out. D Nice, first time on your live broadcast. Will you have peanut butter crunch at that barbecue? Now that you've requested it, yes, fucking A. But you know what's going to happen? We're going to embarrass ourselves. If we get 50 or 60 Gen Xers out here with a bunch of peanut butter crunch, we're all going to be walking around staring at the sky like turkeys in the rain, trying to lick the peanut butter off the stuff off the roof of your mouth because it gets all scratchy. That's what's going to happen. We're dumb like that. All right. Barry Dano, member for 6 months. Did Gen X Mom keep her cool over the pen? She doesn't even know that video. She never saw that video. And it locked up. I got to talk to the kid about reposting it. It was on both Facebook pages and on Instagram, the video froze. It got cut off. So I got to talk to him about reposting that. Don't Mrs. Fort Watton, member for 6 months. When is the new studio arriving? It was tentatively supposed to be here February 11th. The last time we went in there, they said they're running a little bit late. I was saying more towards March, March 11th, 30 days behind. But they assured me, no. So we have to be in contact. We got to drive out there. It's not really a studio. I mean, it's a studio, but it's a barn. It's not really a barn, but it's a barn to me because I'm a city guy. So it's like a big, huge shed. It's a custom shed. If I tell country folks it's a barn, they look at me and go, we have outhouses with running water better than this. Yes, you do. This is just, but we're going to make it a studio. So that's the intent. But we should know more. When we get back from Vegas, we'll start wrapping things up and getting to that point. All right. Noel, member for 2 months. BM on ASCAP are tenacious as a bloodhound mixed with a student loan officer. Yeah, that's the reason, Noel. That's why I haven't signed on. There's no clear answer on how much they're going to charge you because they give you the paperwork looks sweet. The paperwork looks simple. The paperwork says, just pay like $400 a year and, you get this many songs, downloads and listens. Yeah, you're fine. Well, what if there's 100,000 of you that decide to go listen? Am I going to get stuck with a $12,000 bill the first month? Because you have to sign up to run a radio station, to broadcast a radio station, even online. You have to go in and do. You have to choose one of the providers, if you will, or a website. There's a place that helps you host it at a .com, at a channel. But they also keep track of not only what you're playing, but how many people are listening. They report that to BMI and ASCAP. That's where the mess comes in, because you get charged if someone listens for 2 seconds, and you get charged if someone listens for 1 minute, and they're not the same. But you get charged every time. There's no freebie. No. If someone dances across your platform for 1 second, we get charged. And there's no advertiser. We don't have a sponsor. We'd have to have somebody sign on to sponsor KGXT Radio. It would have to be probably $4,000 a month to cover everything that the station is going to generate, not penalties, but in fees the stuff that I think we're going, not right away, of course, there won't be that many listeners, but we'd have to come up with some sort of a sponsor that would say, yeah, we'll give you $4 or $5 grand a month and here's your deal, and to cover what we think we're going to arrive to. But for right now, we're treating it more like a hobby, because I just want to try it. I want to do it with you guys. I want you guys to be part of it, and then I want to see how it goes from there. I don't know. It's probably one of those things that'll do really well for like 3 weeks, and then it fades off and people forget, and you're left with just a small group, and that's okay. The smaller group, we can afford that. You guys can't. How many songs can you listen to in a month if there's a small group? So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. But Noel, you're right. It's a very weird gig on that. And I've talked to some people that finally gave up broadcasting music, even though they like having the rights to it, because it just became such a hassle. So we'll see. Worldwide, 54 this month. What's going to be your first music pick? I don't know. I'd probably go back to some place. I know what song, because I'm Generation X, I know what song MTV played as their very first song. When MTV first appeared on air, I was there. I was tuning in. And I also remember Friday Night Videos, which nobody remembers Friday Night Videos anymore. I remember setting my alarm, and I got up. I think it came on at 12:30. 12:30 a.m. was Friday Night Videos. And I remember the first song they played. Now, there's other video things. There's VH1 and all that. But those were the two big ones for me growing up, was Friday Night Videos, and it was MTV. And I don't know whether I should carve a new path, or if I would go with something traditional, make those the first two songs. To a little throwback there to the Gen X era, a little nod, a little tip of the hat back in the day. I would do that. Might be good to do. Hey, bro, it's a skunk foo. Wait a minute, sun skunk foo, sun. For God's sake, Sun Skunk Fu. Hey, bro, love the videos, you and your son. Fact bombs. Thank you, my man. Please pick a better name. Something simple. You come in here with a $12 name. I can't read that. I'm a $3 word guy. All right. Cooper Rains. What state are you in? Cooper. The state of confusion, and my wife lives in the state of denial. If you're anywhere nearby, stop by and we could use a friend. Tori Randolph, member for 2 months. General, you need to suck it up, Buttercup. Wow. Tori, I have known you for the better part of 45 years. You have never addressed me in that tone of voice. Not one time, Tori, have you addressed me in 45 years in that tone of voice. Tori. Who do you think you are talking to when you speak in a manner such as the one you have just now spoken to me in? You never talk to me like that again. I kill you till you die from it. Okay? Not even sure what voice that was, but I made a point. Tori is worried right now. Tori is drafting an apology that she will write down. She's a very good writer, so she'll write that down. I got my point across. She's upset. I'm not sure if I won that battle, but she's upset, so we're good. Codemeister, $2. Have a drink on me. As soon as they become available, I will. For right now, it's simulated refrigerated Hawaiian water in a whiskey barrel through a straw, because it's National Straw Day. Jamie Smith, member for 6 months. Gen X Talks. I'm going to change my name to Fubar. So he has no problems. Fubar. If you're not Gen X, you don't even know what that means. Go look it up. You can permission to leave the live stream and go look up Fubar. I hate fucks. Member for 6 months. Nobody fucks with the Jesus. That's close. That might have been. I might have been channeling a purple onesie right there with the zipper in front. I don't know. Yeah. Two Bear says, I'm glancing back over here, you guys. Video Killed the Radio Star Video Killed the Radio Star was MTV's, but I didn't see you guys guessing. You know what? John Newman, that's a good thing. Where's Tori? There's Tori right there. You know what? We'll put Tori in a timeout. Tori is now in a timeout, and she is going to be pissed. You thought she was pissed before? You don't put it. It's worse than putting baby in a corner is Tori in the woodshed. Nobody puts baby in a corner Yeah. Well, nobody puts Tori in the woodshed, and she's there. She's fuming right now. I don't know where my phone is. I'm not even going to answer it if she calls. Fuck it. I'm out. All right. There was stuff I wrote down. I wrote some stuff down on here. Oh, where to go? All right. Let's get back to thinking here. If you guys donate anything with PayPal tonight, not only does Gen X Mom, she'll waddle her ass in here and talk on the microphone for you, but it's going there. There's some weird thing that's in Streamlabs now where it goes through Streamlabs. I probably didn't put up the right link. I know. I just realized I didn't do that. But the PayPal link through Streamlabs, it doesn't cost anybody any more money. But there begins to be, first of all, for the first time, you get to see your donation go into the tip jar. Yeah, that'll come up. That's not this time because I fucked it up. But the kid has it set up where PayPal now goes through Streamlabs. The same amount of money goes where it's supposed to go. Streamlabs doesn't take any money. That was a question we made sure we looked up. But now the donation goes into the tip jar. Your name goes across the top there, and there's loyalty points. I'm going to describe this to you, and you're not going to get it. Does anybody remember green stamps? You may not, because green stamps is even before Generation X. And green stamps, it was my grandmother who did it, but I'm sure my mother did it some too. Green stamps, whenever let's say you went to the grocery store and you bought, $100 worth of groceries, they give you like 2 green stamps. They look like stamps, but they're little insignia. I don't even know what was on them. Doesn't matter. And my grandmother would take them home. She put her groceries away, and she had these little orange books. And she would open up the book, and she'd lick the stamps, and she'd add her 3 stamps. And then her pages would begin to get full of all these green stamps. And when she had a full book, she would set the book to the side. She'd start a new book. And when she'd buy something where they'd give you a green stamp or 2 or 3 or 5, think of it like playing skee-ball and getting tickets. Okay, when you play it, this will tune you younger kids in. And you play skee-ball, and out come the tickets. You take the tickets and go buy something. Well, the grown-ups had green stamps. When you purchase things, if it was part of the green stamp system, you got stamps. When you got books and books and books and books of stamps, you could take them up and buy stuff with them. So those were your points. You were getting loyalty stamps because you were loyal to the products that were part of the program. If you bought and sold and did and acted, you got those. Okay. Glad you're coming along with me on that. Now, this is the same thing here. The computer keeps track of it, but everything you guys do in the comment section, every minute you're part of the live stream, even if you just leave it running and you're in the other room. What happens is that Streamlabs and Cloudbot count how many times you comment, they count how many times you donate, they count how many times you use PayPal, and how many times you're in here actively doing stuff. And the more you do, you get these points. There's some way to keep track of it. I don't know what it is yet. I have no idea. There's some way. We'll figure that out. There maybe there'll be a little running scoreboard or something. I don't know what it's going to be, but there'll be a way to also redeem those loyalty points for cool shit from us. I didn't know that was a thing either. I'm learning. Yeah, old dog, new tricks is a thing. Truthfully, it is a thing. So we're working on that. But as you see more of those things come to fruition, you'll know why. It's not just we're blowing smoke up your ass. We're really doing something that's gonna be part of it. So yeah, all right. Where's my goddamn notes? And I'm back with my notes. All right, here we are. And that's JD. That's JD Mom. This is Big Rig and Josh Maddox. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that. Skip a deal there. I talked about that. Made fun of the kid. Yeah. So you're gonna love this. In the state of California, we had 967 or 87 new laws passed. Because here in California, we're short on laws. We seem to be short on regulations. So our governor, Gavin Newsom, said, I will be the man to correct the problem. If we're short on laws, I'm the motherfucker who can sign the laws. I'm in. So he went up and signed all those laws in. Jaywalking is now legal anywhere in the state of California. You don't have to find a nice, safe crosswalk. You don't have to find a designated area where cars are looking for you. We wouldn't want that. You're not going to find a place where you can walk going, now watch out, I'm in a crosswalk. You guys know a person might be here. No. Those designations are now gone. You can cross wherever you want. You can step right out in the middle of traffic, right between two parked cars, just shoom, right out there if you want to. And if you get hit, it's always the driver and the car's fault. Jaywalking is now legal. We have basically said in California, we do not want you to be in a designated safe zone where cars are looking and being careful of those safe zones. Nah, fuck it. Go where you want. Take your chances, Californians. Let's just do it. Minimum wage is now at $15 an hour. So if you have no skill, no talent, no ambition, you too can afford a brand new car. Cyber flashing is now illegal. Yeah, follow me on that one. Cyber flashing is now illegal, which means if you send an unsolicited picture of your junk, you can now be prosecuted, and very easily. The rules are very lax on this. There's not a big burden to prove. Basically, if you got a picture of some dude's junk, you can say he sent it and you didn't ask for it. Unless that dude can prove you asked for it, you can get fined up to $30,000. Now, I'm not sure how that law translates with the internet across state lines. I'm just saying, Lionheart needs to be very careful as the overlord of the Discord server now. All those dick pics that he has given to every single woman that shows up in Discord. Hi, my name's Lion. I run shit around here. Here's my dick. Want to see it? You got to quit doing that, because now there's a law on the books, and it's just a matter of time till it goes everywhere. I'm sorry, Lion. I didn't write that law. I didn't promote that law, and I didn't sign that law. But I am the bearer of bad news. You're going to have to be careful, buddy. All right. Low Torque right now is laughing his fucking ass off. All right. Oh, my God. I don't know where to begin. So, yeah, that's a thing. Listen, I got so much more to talk about. There's stuff way funnier than that, man. We haven't even got to binge watching shows, and do you prefer it binge watching or week by week? And that's a controversial topic around this house, let me tell you. Listen, we're coming up on the last few minutes. I didn't even get to the pictures. I showed one picture, and it was of the two new staff members. Who gives a shit? Who wants to see them anyway? All right. Listen, I do got to call it a night, and let me go between the sheets. She's going to come out of there screaming at me. Robert London, I find it funny that the music channels never play music videos. That's been the way for a long time. That was meant. That word you say, I do not think it means what you think it means. Marlon says, we got them from Texaco Garage in the UK, brought my first fishing rod with, from Texaco with the green stamp deal. Yeah, so people do remember that. You might even have some stuff. Marlon's got his first fishing rod from that program. Martin Duffy, they were called Green Shield in the UK. I think they were called green stamps here. They might have been called something else, but I remember it that way. So if it's a different name, I could be off. Marlon, wow, minimum wage is higher in the UK, and we got the idea from you. Then you're more fucked up than we are. What can I tell you? Junior with a question mark. Gen X talks dad and son. We'd love to talk with you about California politics. Well, when you want to, give me an email, which is give me an email, genxdad@genxtalks.com. That would be all I need to do to hear. Hi. You kind of snuck up on me there.
Is this working?
Which one are you on? Talk into it?
I don't know. Which one's working? Hello?
Looks like you're on two.
Hello?
Yeah, here you are. You're there.
Hello, everyone.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, Gen X Mom has arrived on scene.
Yes.
Right before quitting time.
Yes. All of a sudden, we had all these things show up. Tiffany Mims gave $1 on PayPal. Did that go through?
Well, I put up the wrong link.
No, Trippy followed up with one.
No, well, I should have pinned the right link up there. Did someone change the link we pinned? Because I pinned the wrong one. You lectured me on it, and I still fucked it up.
Whatever. Okay, David, on, I believe this is Venmo. Yes, Venmo. Appreciate your vids. We need more dads like you. He's D Nice. That's what it is.
D-nice.
He's
My man.
$10. And then, because they were asking if we had other things besides PayPal. And I
think the
said, we
kid-
have Venmo and we have Cash App.
Yeah, and just everything's at Gen X Talks, and every one of the kid made sure that to make sure you're at the right place, if you ever want to give him a couple bucks or buy me a beer, it's that look for our logo. He's made sure that our little logo is
It's
on all
at
of
Gen
it.
X Talks.
Yeah, at Gen X Talks, but to make sure you're on the right one, no impersonations, no imposters, then the logo should be there. Yeah, so that's it. All right. I think I cleared the sheets. If I didn't, I do apologize. Listen, I know this has been the shortest hour in radio, but I'm running out of air. I know I shouldn't have gone lunch today with Loud One and Low Torque and Gen X Mom. I probably burned up about 30 minutes of oxygen there that I could have used here, but it was a fair trade. They were a wonderful company, and Gen X Mom needed to get out of the house, so I had to do that. I don't mean to cut you guys off. You guys know that when we're having a good time like we are, and we're drinking and smoking and stroking and joking, I'll go 3 hours, and so will you guys. Some of you guys are marathon. You go with me. So you guys are going to have to forgive me when I pull back a little bit. This is one of those times. I can feel myself running out of air. I don't want to have one of those fuck-ups on screen. Evil Air Projects and Builds, $10. Get a shot on me. Thank you for that. As soon as I'm medically cleared to do so, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to waste it on it. Just a TIFF member, 6 months. I spent $1 to see if it worked, and it didn't post. I had the wrong link up, and I may not have it set right. We're going to. We're going to. The whole idea is that the activity that you guys are normally doing anyway is going to build these little loyalty points just for fun, and we can do cool shit with them. There's even some side things where if you get so many loyalty points, you can have me put someone in the shed or have Two Bear put him in the shed repeatedly for the whole night. It'll be stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be a gas and a half, man. Larry Hanshaw, 1999. Larry didn't say where the funds were going. Larry didn't say where his $20 bill was headed. Therefore, it goes to the whiskey fund. So listen, I got to go. Like I said, I'm running out of air. I've been hydrating. I've been drinking. But there's only so much one man can do before the oxygen content in his brain shrivels away to nothing. And I sound like a fucking liberal, and I don't want that. So listen, I got to go. I got to get out of here. I got to hit the road. There's stuff I got to do, but I will be back soon. Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. If you don't show up at Facebook tomorrow, you know what it means. You know what that means? It means Thursday, Bottom of the Glass Nation Thursday. 6 o'clock tomorrow on Facebook, or wait for the big show. Wait for the grown-up show. Yeah, put on your big boy pants and show up here Thursday at 6 on YouTube. Catch you guys all on the flip side. Thanks for showing up.